We're learning Sfas Emes, Tazria, Mas to Fresh Lamed Aleph. The Sfas Emes writes, Baruch Hashem Parsha Tazria, Mitzvah Shabbos for Shiur. In the Medrash we find, Ocha v'kedem tzaltoni, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us front and back. If a person merits Noichel, he inherits two worlds. So the Sfas Emes explains Noichel from a Loshen as meaning a stream and a connection from the source of life to that which is hidden and unseen in this world. Because what's the greatness of inheriting this world? If there's a world to come, then this world is nothing. Why then is there greatness to it? That he inherits two worlds. But that which he connects this world to the upper world is what's inferred here. And it says every Jew has a chelik to the world to come. Even in this world, all of his actions have that inner portion from the light that is hidden in Maaseh Gashmi, in his physical actions. And this is the intent in the creation of man in this world, to rectify all of creation, to clarify and to make clear that everything is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The life, the sense of living is from Hashem Yisborach. That's why it says Ochor v'kedem. Ochor starts off with back and forward. The last creation was man, and he's the first one, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world with the intent and the thought of having man corrected, because a perfect person, that all of his deeds are with thought and with a connection to his roots of his life, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he merits the entire world's creation. And therefore he was created the end, to complete everything. And therefore, as soon as he was born, there comes with him a certain hidden and cover to separate him from the world above. Otherwise, there's no accomplishment in what he's doing. That's the first thing about the Sfas Emes says. You find the pasuk continues of Yom HaShmini Yimo B'Sar Oloser. And the eighth day, one is commanded to circumcise their child. Every Jewish child has to be circumcised. How is this so? Through nullification. The eighth day represents something that's above the 7 days. 7 days is the order of the world. The order of the 7 traits or merits that are Hashem's. Every day as we count in the sphere, we count another day and another merit. And through this, one has a connection to the world above, which is above that of the natural 7-day cycle. That's why 8 days is always, Hanukkah is considered a festival above the natural order of things. And this way, we are able to separate, to remove or cut off all of the coverings. That's why it says, and on the 8th day you shall circumcise. And I already wrote elsewhere, because the Olam Hazeh, Olam Haba, this world and the world to come, are two worlds where there's a hiddenness which is from that which is above man's intellect. And that's Olam Haba. If we could understand man's Olam Haba, then we wouldn't have a problem of keeping mitzvahs. And this is the intent in Brias Olam Olam Hazeh, to rectify all of creation, to clarify that everything is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we continue that through what we want, we are clear in keeping the inner workings in the Olam Hazeh we can have an attachment to Olam Haba. As he writes, I wrote elsewhere. That's why he says, Ocha v'kedem ta'atoni. We were created front and back, meaning that the intent of creation is that person should rectify and should attach all of that which is in this world to its roots in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from Tachas Kisei HaKovod. As it says, Sha'ar Chotza Apnimis Hapoina Kedem. The Novi says that the gate of the inner courtyard, which faces east, the Shabbos, it opens, we say in Hatorah, it opens on Shabbos, it opens on Rosh Chodesh, because in a secular weekday, it's hidden, that inner life that's in everything. That's Ocha v'Kedem. That through the Bechina of Shabbos, within the Day HaMaaseh, because taking it into the physical world, through this, he attaches himself with the idea forward-looking, which is the gate, which is the opening, which comes from the upper worlds, that is above that of nature. On Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, it's open for us even in this world. That's why it says in the Medrash, Ki Amilo Acha Shabbos. The Medrash tells us, why do you have to wait 8 days? To make sure that there's always a Shabbos within that 8-day period, because in 8 days you'll always have a Shabbos. That a child should recognize Shabbos before you're circumcised. Through Shabbos, we also have that revelation of the inner life that there is in everything that's created. And that way, one can go out and really release himself from the enclosure that he's found in, and to take off the outer trappings which hide that inner point of Hashem that's found in every person and everything. And through the nullification of this physical being, they can be bottled to his inner life, which is the source of his neshama. And through that, he can cause that which at times is forbidden to become permissible. Perhaps he's referring to the idea of circumcision, is also to realize that ultimately, although procreation is obligated, but the lust has to be encapsulated, has to be held in control. That even within that which is hidden to a person, there's a light which can illuminate forth. That's why it says, because, why the 8th day? Because as he says, Shabbos gives you the power to have control over the 7 days, and once he's had his Shabbos, then the 8th day tells him, you should know that whatever you do, Shabbos will assist you in the future, be able to renew yourself in contact with the world above, and that way be able to rectify this world, which is for what man was created. Sfas Emes continues by quoting Shiur, his grandfather, as he does very, very often, if not always, who says on the Medrash, Esa Dei Lemerochek, I shall place my thoughts in the distance, and I will see the distant place, that which was hidden from a person. When he successfully withstands trials and tribulations, he gets to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that which was, what must have been l'toiva, to show the kedusha, even that which is distant from him. And the more distant it is, therefore, the greater the accomplishment. And he merits through this to be the hidden, to be part of that hidden nekuda, that pinteleid, that point of Jewishness that's found in every Jewish person, that should remain with him forever. That's why we say in Shemona Esrei, Gorat Hashem Mogen Avrom, that Avrom went through, we know, many nisyonos, and he was able to overcome them. And that's why we say Mogen Avrom, even though when Avrom had the trials and tribulations, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was with him. That's why it says, Ocha v'kedem tzadoni, that should be within the power of a person to find the future through that which was in the past. From the original thought, by the fact that it's distant, still, Bo'olam Hazeh, which is a concept of Ocher, of something that's behind, which is backwards, we're able to go back to the original Kedem, to the Machshava which preceded the world. And the further we get from creation, one can thus say that the further we get from creation, the more so the hiddenness. At the same time, in a certain aspect, the greater is the success we have, because we have more to overcome. We should be able to overcome our inner desires and use what we have for to fulfill the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that way we will accomplish the purpose for which the world was created, and the revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this world with the coming of Mashiach to Keno v'Meir v'Yameinu. Amen.